Hello everyone, my name is Sissel and I'm from Ricoh, Denmark. Just want to welcome you all, and as you can see on the screen right now, if you have any questions, please write an email to marketing@ricoh.dk, and then we'll go through them at the end of the webinar. Marcin, if you're ready, I think we can start.
Yes, I am ready. I can take over, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar. We'll spend the next 30 minutes looking at how Docuware and Ricoh can help you streamline your internal processes. My name is Marcin Pichur, and I will be your host today. And this webinar was organized in cooperation with Ricoh operating companies from Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Some of you probably joined our previous webinar, so there will be maybe one or two slides that you have seen before, and I will just go over them very quickly. Whenever we talk to the customers, they ask us, what is the best practice if we want to start a digital transformation project? And this is our suggestion, this is our best practice. We suggest to start with the first step, which is digitization. It's all about removing paper from the internal processes. It's about making sure that the documents that are coming from different sources can be converted to digital content. Excuse me, I can hear someone in the background. Sitzel, can you please mute the participants? Thank you. So this is our first step. We basically take the content, take the paper, change it to paper so that this is easier, searchable, retrievable, etc. Digitization drives efficiency. This is the ability for your organization to do the same amount of work with fewer resources. So this is basically about cost cutting, right? We want to save costs, but we know that there is a limit to cost cutting. At a certain point of time, we are looking for something more. So now our next step is document management. We take all the content that was already digitized, and we impose access rights, we impose retention periods, we decide who and when can access these documents. So the information is right now much easier to manage, much easier to access for you, for your team, and for the whole organization. Document management drives productivity. It is not about cost cutting anymore. It is about making sure that the hours of you and your colleagues are not lost to manual, repetitive tasks. So document management drives productivity. It allows you and your team to do more during your working day. And we know that a lot of our customers already started doing this. When you go to docuware.com and read our case studies, you will hear from our customers who confirm, yes, Docuware increased dramatically our internal productivity. But what all companies want to achieve is a workflow automation. Now we can take content that is digital and decide who and when sees this content. We can provide your colleagues with the information that they really need at the point of decision making. So your team or your organization is not only efficient, it's not only productive, it is effective. It is executing the most valuable tasks for your organization that drives the meter for your organization forward. So these are the 3 steps in how you can start digital transformation process. And we've been doing this with our customers for the past 30 years. We have 14,000 customers doing this on a daily basis. So how do we do it? Step number 1, we capture the document, regardless of its format, regardless of its origin, in one central repository. So we can scan images, we can capture PDF documents, we can even support mobile capture, we can capture Office documents, and even web forms when the users will enter certain informations. Of course, we can capture email. Then, once this information is captured, our automatic categorization and classification tool will look at these documents and will suggest automatic indexing so that the users don't have to manually enter the basic information into the system. And we will look into this during our demo. Once the document is stored, it will reside in a secure, centralized repository. And then, depending on your profile, depending on your access rights, you will be able to execute workflows, access this document from any device. You will be able to share it with the colleagues or manage this from the applications that were already integrated into Docuware. So these 3 steps are actually shown on this slide. So where do we start? Well, Docuware is not only a software. This is a really true platform for digital transformation. So we can start in any department in your organization. We can start really small and then grow as we show the value to your organization, to your colleagues. A lot of our processes start in the accounting department, sales department, in HR department. But as you can see, we can cover nearly every department in the organization. And we have listed here the most popular processes that our customers decided to digitize by means of Docuware. So in the accounting, it will be invoice processing or accounts receivable. In sales department, it will be proposal development, contract renewals, or customer inquiries. In HR, this might be recruiting, on and offboarding of employees, performance reviews, and very popular digital employee file where you manage the employee files not in a paper format, but in a digital format by means of our solution, and so on and so forth. So the message here is you can start small and then you can expand the usage of the solution within your organization. So what are the most practical use cases that we have seen on the market? And of course, this will change from geography to geography, from the region to region. If we look at the Scandinavia, we have 3 use cases. Customer file or contract management, that is a very popular application of Docuware. The second one is management of employee records in Docuware. And the third one is invoice approval for the accounting departments. But of course, there will be much more use cases. Digital mailroom. So it is all about taking all the communication, all the correspondence coming into the organization and managing this in one central repository. Support for the sales operations, contracts, proposals, quotes, so that all the customer or supplier-related communication is stored in one central place. And everything related to finance or controlling. But of course, there might be much more use cases than this. Today, we'll be looking at a very simple case related to contract management. So how does Docuware look like? I'm pretty sure that you already saw this during the previous presentation of David Malan, but let me give you a very short overview. What you can see here on the screen is our web client and at the same time our mobile application. So depending on your configuration, depending on your access rights, you will see some of these features and functions once you log into the system. So of course, the application is available via the browser. So regardless if it is Chrome, regardless if it is Firefox or Internet Explorer, you will be able to use it on a day-to-day basis. Option number 2 shows you all the document traits, very similar to the document trays you have on your desk for incoming, outgoing documentation, where you will capture the information that will be stored later on. And exactly, these are the documents that you can see here right now in a document tray. Menu number 3 shows you the file cabinets, where you can retrieve and find information, when you can perform all the searches. Menu number 4 shows you the daily office tasks. So whenever a document meets certain criteria, it will be automatically populated for you and for your teams so that you can have easy, quick access to this information or to this task. And we will be looking into this today. And finally, menu number 5 shows us workflow task and how you can collaborate on a different processes in the organization. And we will be looking at this as well. Of course, we support something like folder structure. We will not be looking into this today. The beauty of Docuware is that we are basically using virtual folders. So we are not creating the same folders, you know, for today on your Mac or on your Windows. We are creating folders based on the description of the document, which is much more powerful. It can be compared to a views, and you can define however you want to see a document. And then we have additional functions that some of them I will be explaining in the demo. Most important one is the function number 9, where we view the document in the system. Fair enough. Moving on. How do we capture documents? Well, there are multiple ways how you can capture the documents. We can capture the documents from the email. We can capture the documents from the mobile device. We can capture documents from a scanner. We can capture even a printout of a document directly into the system. So whenever you send a paper document to the customer, you can easily store copy of that document to Docuware. Whenever we store the document, our artificial intelligence will classify and categorize these documents. And that is exactly what you can see on this screen. You can see that every of this document has a certain label. Green means, well, let's start the other way around. Red means it is a new document. Please train me how to read out the values properly. In that case, we don't have a red document here. Yellow says, I already know this document, but I'm still in a learning process. Please verify my suggestions. Please verify my entries. And green means, well, I was able to read out the values properly, and these are my suggestions. Based on this, the end user will be able to store the document. Of course, the end user will see all the suggestions, all the indexes, and he or she will be able to correct the system if necessary. And most importantly, huge part of our system are the workflows. Today, we will be looking only at the workflows that you can use ad hoc easily and quickly for day-to-day processes. What we are showing here is a very advanced tool that enables you to define advanced workflows that will be triggered based on certain conditions. For example, you store a contract into the system and with certain due date, and system automatically sends this contract through the approval process. Or we received a credit note from a customer that needs to be processed and passed on later on to the accounting software. This task can be automated. So the message here is we can support both ad hoc day-to-day processes and very complex standardized processes that follow certain procedures in your organization. Okay, this was a very short introduction to Docuware. Should you have any questions to the first part, please drop us a short email, as Sitzel mentioned at the beginning, and I will continue right now with a demo of our software. Let me just change the system. Sitzel, can you confirm that you can see my demo screen or my system screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. So this is a little bit based on what you already have seen 1 week ago. We are working with a virtual company. This company, just like Docuware, originates from Munich, from Bavaria, and we produce roller coasters. My name today is Peter Sanders, and I work in the sales department. For those who were not in the previous meeting, let me do a very quick, very short introduction to Docuware, and then we will continue with our standard demo that I prepared for today. Very well. As explained before, Docuware is available via the browser. Whenever you open the system, this welcome screen will appear. Of course, you can switch it off, and this will not be bothering you anymore. The user interface is divided into 3 main areas: document tray, viewer, and the main menu. You have already seen it in our presentation. Let me right now explain you this live, what happens in each of these areas. Document tray is very similar to the document trays you have on your desk for incoming, outgoing paper documents. In a viewer, we can see the document. And in the main menu, we can search for the documents. We have different types of the lists where the documents are automatically published, and we may receive tasks as well. So let's start with something very simple. Let me store a document to a basket. How can I do it? Well, there are multiple ways of doing this, but in that case, I will just drag and drop documents. As I was explaining before, the documents can be captured from email, from a scanner, from a printer, from a watched folder, or user can upload them manually, or even we can capture them on a mobile device. So right now I uploaded a couple documents. I actually missed one of the documents. Let me just upload it as well. for example, this invoice. So I uploaded all these documents. As you can see, system shows me automatically the first page of the document, so we can see the thumbnails. Double click on the document, will show it in the viewer. Very easy, very transparent for the end user. So if I open my viewer, I will see all these features and functions that you can use. And we try to make a transition from the physical document to DocuWare super easy for the end user. That is why we have all the tools that you know from the physical world. For example, I have my invoice and I have my delivery note. What would you do with paper? Most probably, you would staple this together, right? And that is exactly what DocuWare provides you with. So you can use exactly the tools that you know from the physical world. The result is as expected. We have one document consisting of 3 pages. Very easy, very transparent for the end user. All these documents come from one transaction. What do we do with paper, or what do we do with digital files? We probably throw it everything into one folder or into one physical folio. Exactly the same feature here. We can clip these documents together, and the result, again, as expected. You can easily get overview of the whole file. Whenever you want to navigate, you just click on a document and the system shows you this document in the viewer. Very easy, very transparent for the end user. And most importantly, very often we need to hide something on a document due to the compliance requirements, due to the security requirements. And that is what we can add here. This requires verification. So I can even comment on a document like we do on a daily basis with a pencil or with post-it notes. The difference is that this information stays on a document, but we have not changed the original document. Original stays as it was. If you have permissions, you can see the original document. If you don't have permissions, you will not be able to see. Plus, all the tools that you can see here, edit, print, forward, download, these tools represent not only tools, they represent access rights. If you don't have permissions to send this document, you will not be able to action on this. Not only that, directly from here, you can automatically send this document or only one page of this document as a PDF with annotation. So if you wanted to share this information with someone in your organization or outside of your organization, you can automatically send it from here. So you don't have to come back to your copier, copy this document, use WhiteMaker to erase something on a document. No, you can automatically prepare the document and send it out from DocuWare. As promised, this was a very quick, very short introduction. How does the document tray work? How does the viewer work? I'm pretty sure that some of you already saw how the searches work. So let me just explain this in a very quick way. We can search based on all the criteria. Whenever you search, system shows you all the documents to which you have access. So let's imagine that we search for a concrete document. I can select the company name from a list. So I say, okay, I'm just searching for the companies related to Leisure Park Moser. System automatically filters the result, and now I can see all the documents that I was searching. I can narrow it down saying, well, show me only incoming letters. Now I will see only incoming letters from this particular company. But if you don't remember what you're searching for, you always use the option of saying, well, I'm searching for the order originating from Leisure Park Moser. Now the system will narrow down the information to all documents originating from that company and will highlight on a document where this information can be found. So this document contains word order, and there are multiple results here, and the system automatically opens this for you. So searching and retrieving with DocuWare is as easy as with Google. You just have to enter the criteria that you remember about the document, and you don't have to worry about where it was stored. The answer is simple. It was stored in DocuWare. Now enter what you remember about this document, and we'll help you retrieve it. Fair enough. This was super quick introduction to search and the basic features and functions. For today's demo, we will be looking at the quick flow. So how can we actually run day-to-day processes? And in our process today, we have a following situation. We just received a signed contract from our supplier. So we wanted to rent a new office, and we just received this contract. Because we are working remotely, this contract was sent to us via mail, and I can either directly copy this from mail, but I already stored it on my network drive, and I want to drag and drop it to DocuWare. So let me just select the proper document. This is in the downloads, and this is the contract that I received. I'm just dragging and dropping this contract to Docuware. As explained before, if I was in my office, I could actually scan it. If I was using my Outlook, I could automatically capture it from Outlook. But in that case, I just moved it. Okay, so let's have a look at this contract. So this is the contract for, this is a cleaning contract for our office in London. This contract will be commencing very soon. And on the right-hand side, we can see that this contract was signed today by the supplier. There is our signature and date missing. So we, as per our internal rules, first of all, we want to store it. Right? So let's store this document. As you can see, analysis and categorization already happened. So Docuware analyzed this document and suggested certain entries. So let's see. Company name was picked up from here. The contact of the supplier was automatically recognized as well. Based on the analysis of this document, system suggested it is a contract. Document day was captured from this particular field, and the name of the supplier was captured from a name of the signee was captured from. So we are missing one date, which is a due date. I can enter this manually. Let's assume this is 2021, and contract period for in that case will be 1 year. Very easy. I don't have to really do much here. The system already filled out majority of the fields for me. So I'm just clicking store. And something has changed on my user interface. As you can see, this list was automatically populated, meaning there is a new document that I have not seen. So I have two lists here. One list is called contracts active. It shows me all the contracts that are currently running. And there is a new list. There is another list that says these are new contracts. So this contract has not been signed. So I have to basically action on this. So I open this contract. I say, okay, this is the first time we are actually signing up with these companies. As per our internal rules, I would have to actually bring it to the Marcin's office, so my office, and the Fred's Wiener office. But in this case, they are not with me in the building. So what do? Well, very simple. We will use Quick. We'll send requests to my colleagues. We'll ask them to approve this remotely. So I'm just sending a request. And the system asks me, okay, please define who should actually receive this task. And now I have to pick a user from a list. So of course, I can send it to a user or I can send it to a role. But in that case, we have a very small company. I will be sending this to Marcin and to Fred Wiener. Fair enough. Now I have to decide, how do I assign the request to them? Do I assign it to them in a sequence, or will both of them receive this task at the same time? No, I want to assign in a sequence. I want to have approval of the Fred Wiener and later on of my colleague Marcin. Now, I can change the subject. New contract. Please approve this contract. At Marcin, please sign off if approved by both of you. So I basically gave very clear instructions. So instead of forwarding the email, calling them up, did you receive the email, can you approve it, etc., I can send it directly in Docuware. Plus, I will have all the audit trail confirming who and when accessed the document, who and when approved or rejected this document, which might be important for certain compliance purposes, approve or reject. Not only that, we are a very traditional organization. So we would like to say a confirmation stamp on a document. So I don't want to go into the document history to verify who and when approved it. We would like to have a visualization of the approval on a document. That is why I'm saying automatically stamp a document with a decision. Good. I'm just sending a request. My job is done. So who did we send it to? We send it to Fred Wiener. So let's log into his account. As you can see, I can log into his computer here. Of course, this is a demo environment. Normally, you are not able to log into the computers of your colleagues, but I'm logging right now as a Fred Wiener. He is one of our directors in the organization. Fred doesn't work on a Docuware on a daily basis. That is why we'll send him a notification asking, Fred, please approve this document. Outlook is working against me, but in a second, we should be up and running, okay? And there is a new notification via the workflow. Dear Peter, please approve this contract. So I can click directly in the link, or I can open my Docker system. I already opened my Docker system, and in here I can see there is a new task waiting for me. Obviously, I want to action on this, so I'm opening the task, and I see, okay, this is a clean contract. On the right-hand side, I have a contract that I need to review. I was aware about this contract. I'm just checking whether the conditions are exactly the same. I can see this was already signed by the supplier, and now I have two decisions to make. I can either approve or reject. Go ahead. I'm just confirming my job is done. Now this task was automatically sent to the next recipient we have defined in our workflow. Let me just close it, and I will come back. I will come back to the desktop of Peter. And I will log in as Marcin. In that case, I have to log out from Peter's account, and I will just log in with my credentials to the system. So now I'm actually acting as Marcin, and I will be able to approve this document. So the same situation. I can see 5 contracts on the list. So I can see there is a new contract waiting, and there are 4 active contracts. And obviously, I have a 1 task that is pending. So I'm just opening this task, and I can read the instructions from my colleague. Marcin, please sign off if both of you approved. I can already see in here that Fred approved. Of course, I can check a workflow history and see what is already stored in the background of the system. But if I want to have a visualization, then I look at this stamp and I say, okay, I approve it as well. Okay, my job is done. But now, I promised, I was actually asked to sign it off. How can I do it? Well, there are multiple ways how we can actually do this. But in this particular case, we'll use very neat, very nice feature of Docker. I'm just opening my new contract task list. I can see that both of us already approved this document. And what I will do, because we are a traditional company, I can set my signature stamp on this document. There will be a stamp plus a date when this or time when this contract was signed. I actually set it up wrongly. There should be a date. Anyways, I'm setting stamp on a document. Here you go. My contract was signed, and automatically it disappeared from my list of the new contracts, and it was automatically moved to active contracts with no user intervention. Now everyone in the company who has access to this list will see that this contract was duly signed, and it is active, and the renewal or the end date of the contract was automatically set based on the metadata that we already defined before. So what I showed you in this very quick demo is how every user in the organization can trigger a request for the incoming document. So just store a document to the system, and then you define who and when gets the document. Not only that, the system, either based on the stamps or based on the workflow history, keeps all the audit trail related to this particular workflow. So you can see who and when approved this particular document. One element to mention, these signature stamps are assigned to one user only, so only he or she will be able to use them. Other users will not be able to use them. Not only that, usage of signature stamp can be actually enhanced with additional passwords. So the user might be requested to enter additional password before this stamp is set on a document. I hope that you enjoyed the demo. Let me switch off back to my presentation. So in that demo, we explained the basics of Docker and how we can actually use Docker for quick ad hoc workflows. If you like what you saw today, if you think that there might be a value for your team and your organization from using Docker, I recommend to schedule a free discovery call with Docker application consultant. On that slide, you have a list of the champions or the Docker application consultants. In Denmark, this is Daniel Höck. In Finland, this is Rika Saino. In Norway, this is Lars Kjellmans. And in Sweden, this is Daniel Sundberg. Should you have any questions, should you have any requests, or you would like to have a discovery call with them, please drop them a line. And now I would like to hand over to Sitzel for the Q&A session.
Yes, thank you. We have received one question. Where is all the cloud data stored?
The cloud data are stored. We have two cloud data centers right now. One is in the US, and obviously all the data of the customers are kept from the US are kept in the US. The customers from EMEA region, so from European Union, are kept in Ireland, and there is a data replication to Holland. So the data are stored within European Union. Each document that is stored will be stored copied 6 times so that we prevent any loss of the document. Plus, there is a one copy of the document happening at certain intervals. So after a couple of days, this document will be stored on our servers at least 7 times to prevent to protect the document against any disasters that might happen.
Thank you. That was the question we received in the mailbox. So if you have any other questions, please send them to marketing@ricoh.dk, or you can write it in the chat function here in Pixip. I think that was it, Martin.
That was it. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your times today. I hope that you enjoyed this session. And as I was saying before, please contact the colleagues from the respective countries. Thank you very much for today. Enjoy the rest of your day.